All right, guys, here we are with our second live coach Q&A. And today's topic is nutritional facts, how to read nutritional labels, and anything else that we feel we need to share with you guys. And thank you, Martha, for joining us. Coach Diana, hello. So we're going to be sharing a couple of things, and we're going to get started with nutritional labels. And there's been a change in the last couple of years in the nutritional labels. I'm going to actually share that in our screen here. So just give me a moment. And Coach Diana is going to go through it with us. Right, Coach?
Yes.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Of course.
So let's see. I hope everybody had a fantastic day. And we are recording, so we can post it later on. If you weren't able to join, we're going to have it posted in the Facebook group. And if you see it later on and you have questions, message us or comment and we will get back to you. Okay. So Coach Diana, tell us about these labels.
Yes. So hi, everybody. I am Coach Diana. So up here, we actually have the old nutritional
Hang on,
label.
Coach Diana.
Yeah, go ahead.
Coach Diana is our resident nutritionist, right, Coach?
Yes.
Yes.
So I get super excited talking about all things food.
Yes, yes. Okay, go for it.
So before 2020, the nutritional label used to look like the one on the left side. I believe some items still look like that, but the new one was created in such a way so that we can actually read it easier. As you can see, the calories and the serving size is actually a lot bigger and in bold letters. And that's something that you always want to look into first once you're looking into your nutritional label, of course. So on the ones that we have here, we go by the serving size, the calories. This is going to tell you vitamins, how much fiber, how much sugar the content has. But on the right, you have it more well organized to the vitamins that most people are actually missing, which is vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium, which is the ones that you find on the right side.
So that's the one that's under new label. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let's see.
So just to be clear, during phase 2 of our program, we do not count calories. The only thing that we look at calories is for your carb intake. Remember, less than 60 calories a day in carbs, but everything else we don't. Now, when we do these types of Q&As and recordings, we are going to be talking about like if you're in phase 2 or phase 3 or maintaining. So reading nutritional labels is important for all of it. And so we're going to reference to some things that maybe you're maybe not doing right now in phase 2, but we want you to do definitely and learn how to do that now for your future. Right, Coach?
Yes. And right now, basically for phase 2, we want to maintain a low sugar intake, and which is what you want to look at the food label at the sugar one. Specifically, let me see, the added sugars. I wanted to present something for phase 4, actually. I wanted to bring in the tablespoon just to help everybody out to maintain when we're looking into what, juices, what foods to choose, to see, hey, is this enough sugar? Is this too much sugar? Or is it too little? So to have a good idea, of course, you want to look at the other stuff that you're already eating to calculate that. But for example, if you look at the sugar amount in a Coke bottle, I know we're not supposed to have Coke at all, and we do not recommend it afterwards.
No,
but
no
it's a good idea. But it's a good idea to know like how much actual sugar it has. So if you look at a bottle that says the serving size is 2, but the grams of sugar are 32, so you know that is 64 grams of total sugars. So you're going to divide those 64 grams of sugar. You're going to divide it by 4. And that's going to be 16 tablespoons. So I divided by 4, and that's how many tablespoons of sugar, according to the grams that you have, will be in that drink. So it's a little fun exercise to do to the foods or drinks that you already like. Look at how much sugar it has, and just take out some refined sugar that you have at home, count the tablespoons, and you have an idea if you're intaking way too much sugar, too much added sugars. Be mindful that, of course, fruits do contain a lot of sugars, but it's fructose.
Right.
but it's not added sugars, which is of course another conversation.
Right. So that picture, that little printout you just showed was really scary.
This is a really big spoon. I meant to print out smaller.
What
But
is
it's just
that? Is that a tablespoon or a teaspoon? That's a tablespoon.
just 1 tablespoon,
One
yes.
tablespoon. Okay. So if you watched the Q&A from last time, I shared that I used to put 4 teaspoons of sugar in my 1 cup of latte. Imagine how much sugar that was. I don't do that now, thank God, anymore, because I've, created new habits, but that is very, very scary. Okay, so going back to the nutritional label, we want to look at the serving size. We want to look at the calories. When we're walking around the supermarket, whether we're in phase 2, 3, or 4, or maintaining, it's really, really, really important for us to take the time. It really takes seconds, guys. When you learn how to read these things, it just takes seconds. And grab 2 different, let's say you're grabbing a cauliflower or tortilla, let's say, grab 2 different types of tortillas and put them side by side and really read them and see which one will be the best option for you and your journey and your health. So I used to never do that. And now I do that because obviously, we're in this, but I quickly figured out that it just takes a couple of seconds, right, Coach?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. And I've actually gone with clients to the supermarket. I love doing that, by the way. And if anybody wants me to go with you, I will. And I show them how to read these things because this is very important for you to learn for life. So serving size, calories, total fats. Talk to us about the fat portion of this, Coach.
So actually, this is going to be, so the food label is going to divide just the types of fats. So you have an idea if you're intaking too many basically unhealthier fats against the healthy fats. The saturated fats are going to be the ones that are very, that are going to clog your arteries. So when you see in the nutritional label, I'm going back to the one that you have posted. The saturated, we can see has 1 gram and trans fat is 0. So technically, it's a good ideal of fats that you want to see.
We always want to make sure that those numbers are low or 0, right, Diana?
Yes.
Especially the trans fat.
It's just that sometimes you do see the monounsaturated fats, but I don't want people to be afraid of those fats because those are actually a little bit, they're healthy and they have something like a good job to do in your body instead of clogging your arteries.
Yeah. So then you have the cholesterol, you have the sodium. I mean, the sodium is huge, especially for things that are canned, right?
Yes.
It's huge.
Especially also diet drinks tend to be diet because they of course they take out the sugar part, but they add more sodium to it. And of course that's going to play along to gain weight gain, of course. So the difference from Diet Coke and Coke Zero is the amount of sodium that it has.
Interesting. Now they take out the sugars, but they add artificial sweeteners.
Yeah, or other just more sodium or other fats that are unhealthy to just replace the flavor or the texture that you're taking out by the sugar.
Yeah. So just stay away from it all. Right. Okay. So then you have the total carbs. This is a biggie, especially for any phase really in the program. So you have the total carbs. This is something that I want the clients to learn how to read and how to do the math, because there's a math to be done here with the carbs, and not everybody knows what the net carb, what is the difference between carb grams of total carbs and then the net carbs, because some people don't know that you actually deduct the dietary fiber from the total carbs. So talk to us about that, Coach.
Yes. So actually, well, the thing is that we actually find carbohydrates in many components in food, such as, of course, fiber. You have it in sugar, alcohol. So sugar, glucose, it's a carbohydrate. You get it from fruits, vegetables, and even dairy items. So it's in all these components of our meals, and it's not just the bread portion, basically. So we want to be able to read this well. Dietary fiber, it's going to refer to the one that is the actual roughage of the, for example, the vegetable, the fiber in the brown rice against the white rice, which we'll talk about it a little bit ahead.
Mhm.
So I'm just looking at it because it even says the sugars. Like I said, sugars are definitely carbohydrate, which is why you want to be very mindful of those added alcohols, which is what Coach Martha is referring to. Also, you want to be mindful of those because it's also adding to your gut microbiome, and it might be hurting it a little bit by adding just sugars that are not real.
Right.
We just be careful.
We were just talking about that before going live here, where my husband, he eats no carbs, no sugar. So a lot of the things that he eats has sugar, alcohol in it because he doesn't eat any sugar. Okay. So he has certain things that he eats that has sugar, alcohol in it. And I was eating it too. And I can just have like a little piece of whatever it is, and my stomach starts going rah, rah, and it starts making all these crazy noises, and it gives me gas. So if you see anything that has sugar, alcohol, I let our clients know you have to see how your body responds to that, because some people it responds fine to it, and then some people their body does not like it. And I guess that's the same for anything. So you have to see, try it and see. But the sugar alcohol I believe it doesn't spike your insulin levels. And so that's why so many different products now have the sugar alcohol in there, and it's listed under the total carbohydrates. So what we do is you get the total carbs. So like here, there's total carbs of 37 grams and then dietary fiber of 4 grams. So the math is 37 grams minus 4 grams, your net carb is actually 33 grams. If you have sugar alcohol listed here, that will also deduct from the total carbs. So we got to get used to or learn how to do the math, and you'll see when you have things in the supermarket and you're side by side and you want to run those numbers, run the numbers. I promise you guys, these marketing companies and these branding companies are getting really slick. Like really slick, and it's so deceiving because just because something says in front of it that is healthy, or it's cauliflower pizza crust or cauliflower this or that, or when you read these labels and you do the math and you really compare the numbers, there's so many fillers in these things, not just the labels and these numbers, but you have to read the ingredients. My rule of thumb is if ingredients have more than like 6, maximum 8 ingredients, and I'm done. If it has a list, if it has a paragraph worth of all sorts of things that you can't even pronounce, that means you put it back. You put it down, right?
Especially if it's like a simple item like, cauliflower rice. It should not have more than 2 ingredients, like the seasoning and the cauliflower. And to be mindful, the first ingredient is always the one that you find the most in all food items. So, of course, if you see cane sugar as the first ingredient, stay away from it,
Yep. So let's talk about dietary fiber, because that's like the MVP of the nutritional label, right?
Yes.
That is what we want to see the most. That is the number on that label. You want to look at the dietary fiber. Why do we want to look at the dietary fiber, Coach? Why is that so important?
Because we don't get enough fiber in our days.
And why do we need so much fiber in our days?
Well, fiber needs is going to help us do a lot of things, like going to the bathroom, many things.
Many things.
Go through. Fiber is like a magnet to me. It just helps you get rid of all those toxins. So we got to be smart. Are we getting enough fiber in? Of course, we're in phase 2, even phase 3. You guys are eating more vegetables. And of course, fruits. So it seems like we are having a lot of fiber, but it's good to start looking now, like afterwards, if you are getting enough fiber in. We want to have about 20 grams of fiber, depending if you're a male or a female or how old you are. But 20 grams of fiber is a good point of reference. And now, for example, what you have up here is perfect graphic to see and compare. Why do we choose, for example, after in the maintenance phase, brown rice over the white rice?
Coach, give me just 1 second, time out for a second. Just to tag to what you just said, if if you take the time under topics in the Facebook group under tips, there is a post in there that has a list of the fruits and vegetables that you can have during phase 2 that have the most dietary fiber, the most fiber in it. Okay, so guys, go in there and look for it. You can search for it that way. Search dietary fiber, and you should be able to find information on that. Okay, Coach, go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. But I love how you have this already pulled up. I wanted to check out the area where it says fiber. But we wanted to point out that, let me see over here.
So this is a major food item, especially for South Florida. So this is 1 cup of cooked white rice versus 1 cup of cooked brown rice. Okay, so let me just say, if you're on phase 2, on the losing phase, rice is not on the protocol. So no for rice. We're not saying you can eat rice right now. However, in phase 3, on the 3rd week, and phase 4, maintaining, you can. So check this out. Rice is huge for, South Florida. There's not one person I do not talk to on a daily basis that doesn't talk about rice. Okay, check this out. So white rice, 1 cup of white rice versus 1 cup of brown rice. So you're looking at the breakdown here, calorie comparison, right? So you're looking at this and you're like, wow, well, it's kind of the same. Brown rice has about 13 calories more than white rice, right? And you're like, it's pretty right there, but I can't believe that brown rice has more calories. Didn't they say that brown rice is healthier than white rice, right? And then we keep going, we're like, fat, let's look at the fat. Can you guys see my cursor or no?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you see the fat. Well, hello, brown rice has more fat than white rice. Why do they say that brown rice is healthier? Let's keep looking. Carbohydrates. Look, it's almost neck to neck, guys. 1 cup of white rice has 44.5 grams of carbs, and brown rice has 45.8 grams. Why are they saying that brown rice is a better option? Look at the protein, neck to neck. Doesn't have cholesterol. Now here is the MVP that we're talking about. This is where things change. And it's when you look at the fiber. Look at the fiber in 1 cup of white rice, which is 0.6 grams. And then look at the fiber in 1 cup of brown rice, 3.5 grams. That is the differentiator between white rice and brown rice. And that is why it's deemed to be a better option than white rice. Right, Coach?
Yes. I get so excited over you saying that, the higher calories, and whites. I love rice. I just want to note that I am a pro-carb person, of course, as my follow-ups have noticed when they see me.
And we are too in phase 3 and beyond.
Yes, we are. With that said, you can see we don't have to be afraid of these carbs later on, because the reason why it has more calories, of course, is because it provides more nourishment. It's good to note that brown rice is basically the whole wheat kernel, White rice, they just take it out. They kind of strip it down. So it's the smooth stuff. And then they go out of their way and then they replace the vitamins that they took out, like the B vitamins. But be mindful that the B vitamins, you cannot replace them as like the real B vitamins that you're getting from brown rice are actually doing great things in your body, of course. So be afraid of that nourishment.
Right. But this is to show a comparison of something that every single person, it goes through people's brain, right? I'm Cuban. Hello. My mom used to order pizza and still make white rice. And it's like, why? It makes no sense. So, but this is the MVP, the fiber. So when we're out, in the supermarket and we're getting into the habit of reading these labels, those are the things that we want to look at. And also, we don't have it listed here, but ingredients, guys, that's huge. That's huge. So yeah, anything else that we want to share with this?
I'm thinking. Just so everybody knows, on the food label, of course, once you guys start looking into your own vitamins and minerals and the stuff that you guys want to add for maintenance, the DV on the side, you can see a percentage that says daily value.
Right
That
down
is
here.
based. Yes. So on the food label, it says it on the right. That is just the percentage base, taking it from a general diet, taking as if you were eating a 2,000 calorie diet. So that's what the percentages are kind of breaking down for people to go by.
Yeah, because that can be confusing for people. The percentages. Yeah.
But everybody is taking a different amount of calories in. So just be mindful not to go by the percentages, but the grams of protein, fiber, vitamins that you're intaking, how much fat you're getting, because you want to have lower fat, lower sodium, low sugar, and more fiber in your diet, of course.
Fiber. So fiber is the name of the game.
Yes.
Right? Fiber is the MVP. So especially when we're maintaining, and some of this may not apply right now since you have a protocol that you are following, and this is what you eat and this, that. But but it's important for you to learn that now, because come phase 3 and maintaining, these are the things that we want you to think about, think through, so you can maintain for a long period of time. That is the goal here. The goal here is that while you're here at Inspire, you're learning these things. You're creating new habits, like not having 4 teaspoons of sugar in your coffee like I used to. Getting an awareness of how your body reacts to certain things. And all those things, while you're in phase 2 and you're learning these things, you can take those things for life with you to maintain, because we love you, but we want to see you here, but we want you to maintain. Right?
Yes, definitely.
We want you to maintain. So I love it when clients that are maintaining for a long time pass by our office and say hello. But these are tips and things that we need, or you need to learn to live this lifestyle. So if anybody has any questions about the nutritional labels, if you're confused about something, guys, if you're here for a follow-up appointment, we'll be more than happy to go through it with you. We can have a phone call, whatever it may be, just message us. If it's a simple question, you can comment and we'll respond. But we're here to not only help you lose fat and reach your weight goals, but we're also here to educate you and help you along like we needed.
Yes.
Because at one point in my life, about 5 years ago, I was not reading labels because it was just taking too much time. Now we do it all the time. So just carve some more time. If you take 30 minutes in the supermarket, just carve 45 minutes so you can add time for you can read labels, right?
Yes, no, it will give you a lot more control of your life, believe it or not, because you'll able to know what you're putting in your body, and that's huge. That's powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely take the time to read it,
For sure.
The foods that you like too, read and see what it has. Yeah.
So we're going to post this recording soon in the group. And our next Q&A is February 16th. It's always on every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. We are going to actually probably go live. We can do Zoom and go live for our next Q&A. So I'm working on that. And if there's any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to let us know. And I will post what our next topic is. I'm not sure yet. We shall see. All right. Thank you, Coach Diana. Thank you, Martha, for
having me
joining us. And here we are. You guys know where to reach us. Have a fantastic night.